guys, welcome back to the Ultra Radical Toy Works channel. Alright guys, so it is a new year, and I realized that last year I don't think I read a single book, which is pretty messed up. Oh sure, I can say, you know, I was busy making vlogs, I was busy making videos, I was busy watching hentai, but that's a friggin' cop-out. So in an attempt to break my losing streak when it comes to books, I'm starting the Chino Literature Club. I'm starting a book club, and I want you guys to come read along with your old Peppercine. So here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna do a book a month, so we're gonna kick things off with Anthony Burgess' A Clockwork Orange. I chose this book to start because it's short, it's an easy read, it's a novella, and it's widely available, so every and any bookstore will have it, every library will have it, so it's pretty easy to get your hands on. It's a Penguin classic. Those are like the easiest books to find. So because it's easy to come by, it gives you plenty of time to track down the other books that are on this list, which we will get to. And yes, I have already read Clockwork Orange, but I read it about a decade ago, so I'm curious to see how my opinions on the book have changed over time. I remember really enjoying it, and that's about all I remember. That and like Clockwork Orange, the movie, is like one of my faves, so pretty familiar with that. But it's a short read, and it's a good read, and I think it's a good one to start things off because it's nice and light. It's a good way to get our toes moist. Oh, that sounds awful. To get our feet wet, to get into it. So yeah, we will start January with Clockwork Orange. So how does this work? How do you join the Literature Club? Simply join the Discord server, link in the description, ask a moderator, ask myself, and we will give you the role of book club member, which will give you access to the Literature Club secret chat, and we can talk about books. So what is the expectation? By the 15th of each month, I want you to be halfway done the book, so we can talk about to the halfway point of whatever we're reading. I guess we'll round up to the chapter. Like if you're in the middle of a chapter, you finish that chapter. If the book doesn't have a chapter, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Don't worry about it. So by the 15th, we'll talk about up until the halfway point in the book, and then at the end of the month, we will fully discuss the book as a whole and our full thoughts and opinions about the piece of work. So if you aren't reading along but you want to be involved in the chat at all, or just, you know, hear our thoughts, you're also welcome to join. Everyone's welcome. But yeah, it'd be cool if we could get a good dialogue going about these books. So that's the plan. Let's read some books, let's use our minds, let's compare and contrast our feelings and our thoughts about a piece of work, and have a good conversation about books. So Pep, what are we reading? I'm glad you asked. Let's go through the list. So January starts with Anthony Burgess' Clockwork Orange. February, we are reading Less Than Zero by Bret, Easton, Elis. This is, again, another book I have read a decade ago when I was young, dumb, and angry. I'm interested to revisit this one and see what my opinions are. It's Bret Easton Ellis's first book, I believe. So yeah, it's about a disenchanted young gentleman who visits home. It's interesting. I remember enjoying it for probably all the wrong reasons. So we'll see my more seasoned adult thoughts on this book. It should be a good one. March, we are going to finish the pirate book I barely started. This was in a vlog forever ago where I read like 2 pages and fell asleep in my car. This is On Stranger Tides by Tim Powers. It has inspired a lot of fantasy pirate stories. I'm told it's a staple of the genre, of the pirate genre. So we'll be reading this one in March. The Killer Inside Me by Jim Thompson. This one's going to be fucked up. May, we are going to be reading a book by, I apologize if my pronunciation sucks, Natsuo Kirino. Kirino? It's a Japanese author, and she wrote a book called Out. This was on a bunch of like top 10 lists. I don't know much about it other than it's apparently a little bit violent. I guess that's maybe a theme that's running through these books. In June, we are going to be reading a controversial classic. We're going to be reading Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. This is a book that I've read, I think, the first 2 to 5 chapters of, like, a million times, and for whatever reason, I always end up putting it down and not finishing it. But we're going to finish it, goddammit, even if it is controversial, even if it is, odd. It's a Penguin classic. How spicy could it be? Yeah, we're going to read Lolita. This book is still in the mail, so in July we're going to be reading Kafka on the Shore. Haruki Murakami. I hope I said that correctly. Kafka on the Shore. Yeah, I don't have it. It's still in the mail. August, we are going to be reading Survivor by Palahniuk. I've read many of his books. This is one I have not read, so we're going to read Survivor. September, we are reading Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut is an author. I've never read an actual book of his. In university, I had to analyze a bunch of his essays, which sucked, and I fucking hated it, and it made me hate university and my professor. So he's always in my mind been an author that I'm like, ugh, Kurt Vonnegut, but really there's no basis for that other than my own, like, teenage angst, and just being a shitty guy. So we're gonna read Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five because I've heard nothing but good things about Kurt Vonnegut, and previous me was definitely wrong. I mean, maybe not. Maybe we'll read it and we're all gonna be like, what? But probably not. This is probably a dope book. And then I think for October, this will be the densest, heaviest, gnarliest read. We're going to read Stephen King's It, because I have never read Stephen King's It. But I think it could be fun. I mean, I've read many Stephen King books, and I always enjoy them. I'm a little bit nervous because this was only 50 cents. That is a really good deal for a book. This book is humongous, but when I read The Stand is pretty similar in length, and I read The Stand in like a week because it was just so enthralling. So who knows, maybe we'll power through this, or maybe the 15th will hit and we're supposed to be talking about the first half of the book and we're all gonna be like, fuck, we're not there yet. We'll see. But yeah, we should get spooky for October because it would be silly not to. So we're gonna read Stephen King's It. November, we're going to be reading The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I am excited to revisit this book. Again, it is something that I have read many, many years ago. But yeah, let's get super bleak in November. You know, when the weather turns and it gets a little depressing out, let's make it far worse by adding the bleak stoic writing of Cormac McCarthy. What could make November better but just some stoicism? Yeah, The Road. So December, we're going to wrap things up with a book that I really love, a book that I say to myself, I should read it again this year, and I never do. We're going to be reading Snow Crash by Neal Stephenson. A little sci-fi to round things out, a little sci-fi to finish off the year strong, and it has snow in the title, so that's December-y. That's kind of lame that I said that or made that connection. So that's the plan. Those are the books. Some of them are biggie boys, some of them are long books, but that's okay. I think by the time we reach those, we'll be in the groove, we'll be ready, and we'll be more than prepared to be crushing books like a champ. But in case our hunger for reading can't be satiated, I'm also going to make a list of bonus books, and these are books that, like, if you need to supplement whatever we're reading, or you just want a good book idea that you could read, and then maybe at the end of the year we can talk about the bonus books, or maybe throughout the book club we can talk about bonus books if anyone starts reading them, but those are just for fun. That is the core list. This is the stack of books we're going to be reading. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to ritualize this and have you guys to hold me accountable for my reading habits. So if you're down, join the Discord server, ask to be part of the book club, and let's read some shit. Let's do it. And if you still need a little bit of convincing, perhaps the advice of a medical professional would persuade you.
Hi there, and thank you for considering the Literature Club. As a medical professional, the only prescription is more books. So join the Discord server and ask to be part of this amazing opportunity. I think Pepper has explained it well, but if you have more questions, don't be afraid to ask. Happy reading, everyone, and remember, no cupcakes. We all saw what happened over the Doki Doki Literature Club, and we don't want to repeat that mess, do we? Bye for now.
Alright guys, let's talk about some books, let's read some books, and let's have an awesome 2019. Books.
Subscribe.